Yep.
Okay, so, Shing, what do you want us to do? Treat it like a normal stream and do the usual intro stuff, but you're recording it instead?
Up to you. I don't mind. You can do if you want. Doesn't bother me.
To see how much of my speculation is true.
We're already recording, so
Are we?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hello, recording.
Great, so we can put on YouTube my joke about Mark Reckless blatantly being a porn star name.
Wait, what?
Mark
That's
Reckless.
the name of the new UKIP MP. He's called
Oh.
Mark Reckless, and that's his actual real name.
Yeah,
Oh dear.
Yeah.
it's
His
perfect.
parents didn't like him much, did they?
Well, I don't think it's their fault necessarily, but it's
They
a
chose the
perfect.
name.
Well,
Not the
Reckless they didn't
surname.
really choose.
Well, yeah, maybe not in a reckless bit.
It was thrust upon them.
Oh,
Poor choice
God.
of words.
Wow. Just wow.
But I think it's appropriate that a politician has a porn star name, since basically they get paid to screw people. So
Charlotte, did you exchange the chairs in the tailor's shop?
Yes, I did. They are no longer potatoes.
I didn't even notice that.
I was
They
just
were
like, that's way
potatoes
too
originally,
square.
and now they're very definitely not potatoes. So screw all of you.
that's literally the most disappointing thing you could have ever done.
I'm sad now.
I don't know.
Maybe
First, you
the
don't let me
potato
take.
chairs will make a cameo appearance at a later date.
Put those
Awesome.
in Esper.
They've been taken off the main cast list, but they will cameo on a regular basis.
Nice.
Shall we continue?
Yeah, maybe we should edit some of this junk out.
I'm going to.
Gag reel,
Aww.
gag reel, gag reel.
Gag reel, gag reel.
Thanks.
Ay vey. Okay, continue.
When exactly did you start recording this?
Too long ago. Now
First
let's
it's porn-
continue.
First it's porn stars, then it's gag reels.
Aye. Okay, shall we be serious in 3, 2, 1 and then do our normal introduction?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, in 3, 2, 1, Shane, do your introduction.
I was actually going to do that post, so, you know. So continue. 'cause
Alright, fine,
I've already got all of that recorded.
fine,
Yeah.
screw you.
Okay.
Hello and welcome to Naldrin campaign featuring our beautiful host Charlotte Hobbs. I mean Char Bookworm. Edit that name out.
Oh man, don't box people, man.
Oh god.
I don't want to be internet stalked by weirdos and Gamergate bros.
Our beautiful editor Dark Python will take over editing that out.
Oh
That was
my
almost
God.
perfect.
I know. It's all right. I'll aggro tank the gamer bros because I'm literally working with Zoe Quinn on a project. So
Oh boy.
So much editing. So much editing.
He is literally
About
bent over
20
double faced
minutes
face
worth now.
basting.
I'm literally part of the conspiracy. It's ridiculous.
So, moving on.
Okay, and Telemain, how about you redo that introduction in 3, 2, 1.
Hello and welcome to Naldrin campaign featuring our beautiful host and game master Char Bookworm. Everyone clap. Clap, 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 clap.
Yay!
Thank you.
I've clapped, but
I
one of my
deserve
hands
that.
has to hold the button down.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's why I
You-
just said
face
clap.
desk. Just constantly face desk.
But then my headset would fall off.
This is great.
Okay, well, with that really successful introduction, which we definitely didn't retake 3 or 4 times, let's get on with things. So, we are missing a couple of people today. Varys is currently treeing, as per usual, and Gwyn is, well, I don't know, she's probably having a chat with her favourite bartender or something. We'll find out when we next see her. However, for those of you who are here today, please do your usual recap of one sentence what happened last time, starting off with Scamanos.
Oh shit, what did I do last time? I was giving out all of the money to the townfolk. And I presume I'm probably still doing that because there's a lot of townfolk and a lot of money.
Okay, Pod.
We caught the guy, but then then things happened.
Okay, Tesseren.
Essentially, Tezrin did nothing the entire time because she was in a state of shock, and she still got experience for that. So, I'm weighing my options for this adventure.
Hey, Varus got experience for being a tree, so I think you're well off.
But being a tree is important work.
The tree did guard the prisoners.
Says our cleric.
Okay, oh, actually, Lucy, you seem to have vanished off Roll20 for some reason.
I'm on there.
That's really weird, you're not showing up.
Ada.
Anyway, while we're figuring that out, I don't know, who else? Jack, you do your character introduction.
So, last week in the thrilling Naldrin campaign, Jack had a variety of life experiences, including going very mad and stabbing up a rogue for no good reason, and sticking his face in raw sewage.
I've forgotten about that.
Yeah, so had I.
He also killed a lot of dogs and got really into it. It was kind of weird.
Okay, and finally, Escal, what happened last time?
Escal kind of freaked over the warlock situation, and then also freaked after kind of being attacked by someone who then killed the prisoner.
For those of you who don't remember, the thing that killed our prisoner looked something like this. They appeared, did scary shit, and vanished.
Ooga booga.
So, following on from that, we're going to start off with Escal, who is currently up in the room originally guarding Bianco, and was joined as soon as the scary shit happened by Liotto, who was originally comforting Tessren. So, Escal, how do you react?
I just kind of look at Liotto and say, well, fuck that shit.
He's kind of staring a little bit bug-eyed at the space where the hooded figure was a minute ago and kind of nods. Good lord, what?
What's that?
Ignore everything!
Something made strange noises.
Pay no attention to the man behind the mic.
I think I pressed the wrong button. Continue.
Oh, that destroyed all dramatic tension. Okay, so the otter is staring bug-eyed at the space where the hooded figure was and nods and says, Are you alright?
I don't think our prisoner is. I'm going.
Oh, shit. He
I
walks
get
forward.
up and kind of prod at Bianco. I'm assuming the dog is still alive and probably whining like crazy.
The dog is currently hiding, well, cowering more accurately, underneath the table and whining in a very low voice. Not low voice, low growl. He also,
Yeah, I'll go and prod Bianco.
the Otto presses his fingers to Bianco's neck as he does that and says, "Oh, he's dead. I just touched a dead guy." Yeah.
You'll get used to that.
He looks quite worried at this point. So he just kind of says, What the hell was that?"
I don't know, you're the wizard, aren't you?
Oh, trainee wizard? I've
Looks like Leoto needs comforting now.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna just go and kind of pat Leoto on the head, slightly condescendingly.
He suddenly snaps out of his shock and says, "Oh, lol, Tesserin! Is she?" And he kind of leans out the door and says, "Tesserin, are you alright?"
I'm sort of tiptoeing up the stairs, and I call out, "Yes? Is everything all right up there?"
Not so much.
Ah, you. He kind of steps out the door and says, "You might not want to go in there."
I go in there.
Okay, move your character in there. So, the first. Well, actually, roll me a perception check.
Okay, we're back to numbers again. 1 second.
Woo! Numbers. It occurs to me I should actually open up my campaign notes while you guys are doing this, shouldn't I?
That would probably be a good idea, yes.
Oh, crap.
You notice that Bianco is slumped over the chair he was tied in.
I look at Eskel and, I definitely have the thought that maybe she did this.
Big, creepy black thing in a hood with kind of grey black arms and spiderweb tattoos and scars up its arms appeared. I don't like this thing.
Okay, I'm definitely a little relieved now, but I go, wait, something just appeared in here and killed him?
Yeah, appeared through all the wards that Leoto had set up.
The otter nods and says, "Oh, wait, what tattoos?"
Spider web tattoos, it looked like.
He looked very, very anxious all of a sudden.
The only thing I know that would usually have such tattoos is someone related to the servant of Law. Or Law.
He looks at you again and says, "How could you even know that? People usually don't."
I've spoken to a few drow in my time.
He now looks even more anxious and says, "Oh, right, just wait till Ma gets back, okay? Just don't mention that to anyone. Just for now."
Guessing I've hit something on the head there.
I don't know. I'm not sure yet. I don't. Can we wait till Ma gets back?
I'm going to grab
Sure
his arm
thing.
and try to pull him out.
Okay, he doesn't resist you doing that. Are you going to do anything once he's outside?
I have no idea. I'm just gonna look at him and be like, what now?
He is just wide-eyed and kind of shakes his head and says, "I don't know."
At this point, Escal kind of looks at Bianco, looks at Leoto and Tesserin, who have just left, and then goes over and peers under the table and tries to get the dog.
Make me an animal handling roll.
Oh dear.
Poor dog.
It's had a rather rough day of it.
The dog has decided, after all that trauma, that seeing as you were the one petting it beforehand, you're its new best friend. It
Oh,
creeps
yay!
over and licks your fingertips.
Escal looks happy about this.
Okay, on that cute and fluffy note, let's find out what Scamanos is up to.
What I'm up to, I'm just handing out all of the hard-earned money to the people in the marketplace.
Okay,
With the
well,
guards from her place as well.
alright, well, everyone's looking at being kind of suitably grateful in their attitude towards you. A couple of old women hug you, seeing as they can now feed their families once again. And yeah, you're being generally very happily accepted into town, especially seeing as you're being accompanied by Maravina's guards. Is there anything else you want to do while you're in the marketplace or in the general shopping district?
I should probably go and get my eyeball at some point. But that will probably be after I've just finished handing out all of the gold to everyone, really. Not really much that I'm doing. I'm just being generally a nice person.
Okay.
Good guy, Scamanos.
Yes, good guy, Scamanos indeed.
A new rate.
Can you roll me a charisma check?
I can try. I can certainly try. Charisma, where are you? Ooh, this should be nice. Oh god, that's terrible. That's with a +3 as well.
Well, they're generally very grateful towards you, but nothing extra special happens, unfortunately.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me with that
Okay,
crap.
so you finish giving out all the money and head back towards Avina's household with the and you're heading over there. So over to Pod and Jack, who are currently with Avina. Varys and Gwyn have split off from you guys. Oh, no, wrong icon. Have split off from you guys for the time being. Is there anything you want to talk about at all, either to each other or Avina on your way back to the townhouse?
Just for a moment, I need to just let Wumple lead the way, and I'll try and follow along.
No problem.
Actually, I'm trying to recall where we. Okay.
So you'd just been to the guardhouse to find out if anyone knew where the dwarf Sigra was.
Mm-hmm. So I wonder if she's already taken off by now.
Well, in her place, I certainly would do so. Avina tells you, but it's difficult to know exactly what they're planning. She was able to do all of this under, well, my predecessor's nose, and for a few weeks mine at the very least. Well, we don't really know where she is other than the fact that she's heading up towards Tin's Height by the sounds of things.
If she hasn't already heard that he's been caught and just left.
That's true enough. Mind you, it's probably easy to escape via Tin's Height. You can get up into the forests and the like from there. Probably fairly easy to make yourself hidden.
At this point, she'd have a pretty big head start on us.
That's for sure.
You much good in the wilds?
She looks at a bit. She says, "No, I'm afraid my parents and siblings are the fighters of the family. Well, I was a merchant before this, so I'm afraid I'm not so good with a blade."
Fair enough.
Okay. So you are chatting to Avina, making plans about stuff, and you get back to the house roughly the same time as Scamanos.
Pod nods to Scamanos.
Afternoon. Did you find our friend?
No, but she should be at Tin's Height.
Which is where?
Pod points.
Upwards. Up.
Fair
I
enough.
tell you what, Scamanos, if you want, you can roll me a history check at this point.
Okay. Ugh, oh dear. I'd rather not, I think. Yeah.
Ooh.
That's
You
what I
are-
thought.
You are aware that Tin's height is probably above Tin's fall. There's a lift involved somewhere. You've not really been around this area of Naldrin before. It's all a bit new and exciting.
Yeah, I'm fairly new to the area, so I just nod and go, okay, so we're heading up there later, are we?
Yeah, shortly.
Okay. I suppose we should go in and see where everyone else is.
Okay, you guys head in, led by Avina, who thanks Skamanos for assisting her guards in redistributing the wealth out to the citizens of her town. When you open the door, Lioso upstairs hears the door click, leans over the railings, and yells, "Ma," and says something else in a language I don't believe any of you will understand it, but it sounds as though it's some version of Elvish. Upon hearing this, Avina looks somewhat shocked and says, "Upstairs now to the rest of you," and quickly runs up to the room that Bianca was in.
Pod leaps up, taking 3 steps at a time.
I just casually walk as I do, just calmly go up the stairs. Do, 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 do. Sort of thing.
Yeah, there's no levity in my walk, but you know, I'm not leaping up the stairs.
Okay, you all trail in after Avina. Lioso heads in with her as well. Tessren, are you coming in?
Yes.
Okay. So you all head in, and Avina kind of looks at Bianca and says, "By Loth, what on earth happened here?"
Good question.
I look up at Avina from where I'm just slowly trying to reassure the dog and say, a cloaked black figure appeared and it killed him. Your son tried to attack it, but there was nothing he could do.
Any more description than that? Did you see its face?
It was hooded, but
See any skin?
I looked pointedly at Avina and say, there were cobweb tattoos on its arms.
Odd.
She frowns at that and sits heavily on the stool over here. Are you aware of the significance of that?
I have a vague notion of it, yes.
Care to fill me in?
And the rest of us, for that matter.
I look at Avina for permission or see whether she would prefer to speak.
She crosses her arms and says, "How much do you know of, well, my mother's people?" The Drow, that is.
I tell you what, I'll do one of these to find out.
Anyone who wishes to do so may roll a history check at this point.
That's intelligence, isn't it?
I'm fairly well read, or I know quite a lot about them already, don't I? So do I need to roll?
Yeah, you roll a reasonable amount. You can just say what you remember from. Oh wow, everyone knows so much about the
Wow.
Drow.
For as much
Good lord, guys!
for as much as I knew about her parents, I know
I knew
Jack.
lucky Escal's around.
You know her family, but you know shit
Wow.
all about the Drow.
Okay, you lot have vaguely got some idea that the Drow exist, and they seem to be locked in some kind of war with the Tower Elves, and that this probably makes things with Gwyn a bit awkward.
Oh, they're the blackface ones.
Yeah.
What? That right there is racist.
Okay. Escal, what you will know a bit about this due to background lore. Do you want to tell us what you remember?
Basically, well, I don't remember the exact number of years ago, but there was a priestess of Loth, the spider goddess, and the drow started to worship her, and through her Loth, and the Tower Elves disapproved quite intensely of this and started to fight against them, and that's how the entire war began.
Can't say I blame them.
I think they're pretty misunderstood people myself.
So just over worshipping a particular god?
That's how my people see it, Avina says, a little too lightly. She's obviously used to these kinds of attitudes.
Meanwhile, Pod's looking over the corpse, see if he can see anything strange. What killed him?
I would say some form of sorcerer or wizard or something along those lines.
Lyoto nods. I'd say it was. There might have been a few spells at work here, potentially, considering he looks over at Escal and says, "Did you see
Can I check the
anything?"
corpse?
Yep, you can.
Would that be survival or would that be medicine?
Depends what you're looking for, I suppose.
What
Yeah.
killed him, really?
Definitely
Okay.
medical.
Yeah.
Go for. You can make me a medicine or a Arcana check as well, potentially, seeing as you've just been told it's probably some sort of magic.
It
Whichever
doesn't
one you
actually
prefer.
make a... Wait, no, it does make a difference, because my wisdom... Oh no, it doesn't actually make a difference. So I'll just roll. Well,
Okay. Was that a medicine or Arcana check you went for?
let's go with Arcana.
Okay.
I did medicine.
Right. So between the two of you, you look over and kind of discuss things a little bit. As far as you can tell, some kind of huge magical force hits at Bianco very, very quickly for a huge amount of internal trauma and essentially just stopped his heart.
At this, Escal shudders and says, "I felt it."
Felt some sort of pressure or impact?
I couldn't move. Literally, the moment the creature appeared, I was forced to the floor.
Can we, with her consent, can we, like, check to see if she's okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, I'll roll an Arcana check.
While they're doing that, I look over at Lyoto and, in answer to his question, say, "You saw something too?"
I know my stuff about magic tonight.
You do? Okay.
You're rolling the
Just not
correct
drow.
things.
As far as
Jesus.
you can tell, Escal seems to be physically fine. However, some kind of psychic trauma seems to have taken place. You'd almost have said that she was put under some kind of deep, almost paralyzing fear was the kind of effect that you'd go for, considering what she's told you.
Okay.
We also
I will just sort of try and make her comfortable. So just sit with her, and if she wants to express any emotions, I'll be there. So I kind of sit next to her, Scal, and just ask if she needs to talk or if she's okay.
I look to him and say, "I'll be fine when we can actually work out what happened here."
Okay, Pod, who are you checking with the medicine there?
That was just another joint check on Esgar.
Okay, yeah, like I said, she seems pretty much physically
Mhm.
okay. At this point, Liotto leans against the wall and says, Something happened right before the creature cast that spell. I saw. Well, I saw the
Hmm?
town burning down.
Esgar,
look
did
at-
you see anything like that?
I look at him and just say, I saw a room and it was beautiful, but there was no way out of it.
Well, this doesn't bode well.
I ask Liotto if that is a dream he's had before, or if that is a personal fear of his.
A fear, I guess. I mean, who wants to see their home destroyed? It's the worst thing I can think of.
That would be it then. Wonder what dear old Bianco saw.
Whatever it was terrified him.
And killed him, for that matter, Avina says. She kind of pauses and says, Alright, this is strange. Why would if they could kill Bianco simply by using that kind of magic, why go to the trouble of creating these visions for you both as well?
Possibly a side effect? Just collateral damage? Pod turns and looks out the shattered window, seeing if he can spot anything.
Roll me a perception check.
Confound it.
You can't really see anything at all as far as you can tell, other than the fact that there's some glass somewhere. The scene outside is basically as the same as before.
You see a window.
No, I don't. I see a hole.
Yes, there's a hole. That's about as far as you've managed to get with this looking around.
I turn to Liotto and Avina, and I say, "Are you two, are you two drow in the habit of worshipping spider gods, or?"
Avina sighs and says, The common perception of Lolth is different to how we believe her. As far as the Drow are concerned, Lolth is a goddess of fate, of interweaving destiny, and nothing more.
I nod and go, interesting.
However, and I would rather that none of you here took this information beyond this room, our priests and priestesses, upon completing their training, are traditionally tattooed with spider webs across their arms and across their legs.
So we're dealing with a priest of loss.
Generally, what are your priests trained in?
Scrying, healing, priestly
Scrying?
magic mostly, and spells. Well, Lolth is a goddess of fate, is she not?
So probably listening to us right now.
He also rolls up his sleeves at that point and says, well, there's an easy enough way to work that out. And he begins muttering a spell under his breath.
I point out that I guess it makes sense that a servant of a god of fate would, be followed by visions of destruction and bad fates. Particularly if this sort of minion is clearly tapping into the darker side of the faith.
Perhaps it wasn't a side effect of the first spell. Perhaps it was another spell entirely meant to deter us.
Did he say anything to you when he cast it?
This is as Lucy, I don't remember.
Okay, hang on. Let me whisper you. Okay, give me 1 second, guys.
Sorry, I didn't write that bit down.
That's alright, don't worry.
Bum, 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 bum.
Okay, Bianca. Sorry, not Bianca. Liotto finishes casting his spell at this point and kind of says, this is odd. Is anyone else here able to detect magic at all?
Bob shakes his head.
I don't think we are.
I'm not sure actually.
Nope.
No, warlocks can't get until later.
There is an evocation we can take, but
Right.
I don't think we can take. Well, neither of us have taken it.
Yeah, no one else here can cast Detect Magic.
I don't think I have it prepared. I don't think I've prepared anything for this yet.
Okay, looks at it kind of around and says, well, this looks like something very complicated. As far as it's strange. Okay, I think there may have been 2 or 3 spells here. There seems to be some kind of, I think, a scrying spell centered upon Bianco, but that faded since he died, so no one's watching us right now. But I mean, the rest of it, it almost looks like there's necromancy and illusion of some sort, but those kind of spells can't have been cast at more than 120 foot maximum, I'd suppose.
So if there was a scrying spell on Bianco up until he died, would it be safe to assume that that was whoever killed him keeping an eye on him?
It seems to be the same source of magic, I believe. A sort
And
of
does that have a range of 120 feet?
scrying spells. I mean, this one I'm not sure how strong it is, but those can be cast for miles around. But the spells that actually killed, I mean, they can't have been more than a couple of streets away at most.
Well, we've reason to believe that the spell was cast from in the room, Liotto.
Unless that was an illusion of the person.
It seems like an awful lot of effort to go through just to keep one person quiet.
I look at
3
Liotto and say,
very high level spells just to kill one bandit.
shh, scamming us. I look at Liotto and say, your magic missile had absolutely no effect. I mean,
No, that's. He clicks his fingers and says, "No, that's true. Actually, did you notice the air distortions at all when that happened?"
Eskel shakes her head and says, I was too busy being pressed to the floor.
Sorry,
Jack glazes over at the mention of what sounds like very sciencey stuff.
No, it's to do with illusory magic. I've been studying this. When something physical or arcanic in origin comes into contact with illusions, it usually causes a ripple in the area around them as your mind recognizes that the thing you're seeing is not in fact real. So yes, that's true. So in that case, the creature must have been an illusion of some sort. Something that's simply incorporeal would not have the same effect.
Would that explain why it was able to get through your wards?
Because it
Not
was never
in-
there.
Possibly,
But the spell,
the scrying spell. we brought Bianco into the house and he had the scrying spell upon him. If we brought him in willingly, then there would have been no reason for the wards to recognise that spell at all. So that means
they
that
probably had it on him who knows how long.
Well, quite. It's
The elephant in the room.
At this point, Escal kind of looks and says, for all that the townspeople spoke of Bianco as a terrifying and scary person, to me, he seemed normal.
He was a coward.
Are you sure that the Bianco the townspeople spoke of and the Bianco we captured are the same person?
Avina frowns and says, well, at this point in time, it's possible, I suppose. Wait here 1 second. And she leaves the room very quickly and says, you can direct any questions regarding magic to Liotto. He's far better versed in these matters than me. And disappears next door.
I think it's more likely he was a puppet, and they're just seeing the effects that the puppet was played to.
Did anyone mention puppets?
Escal at this point is actually going to get up and follow Avina.
Okay, that's fine. So you follow Avina. She looks round. She's rifling through the map book you saw earlier at them and says, oh, yes, Escal?
Escal looks at her and looks slightly abashed and says, you're probably wondering why a wood elf would know so much of drow history, as it were.
She smiles a little wryly and says, well, I have to admit it, but that's not the worst thing on my mind for the moment.
I know, but I feel like I should be honest at this point. The face you see here is not the face that I truly own.
You don't say. Well, I won't pry and ask about your true face unless you wish for me to know it.
My name is Tulina. I'm of the house Adulian.
Moon elf. That explains a lot, my lady.
Escal kind of blushes and looks incredibly awkward.
Do you wish this to be known to your companions?
I was actually intending on surprising them at a less important time. You know how it is.
She laughs at this and says, as you wish. Well, if you keep my secrets, I'm sure I can keep yours. She taps the book she's looking at and says, right, this is it. I have possibly some good news. And head back south and says, would you like to join me?
Escal smiles and follows.
Okay, so Avina comes back into the room at this point with the book of maps. You recognize it from earlier. It was the book that a page was ripped out of. And she says, okay, I think this may be of help. Liotto, you're certain that a lot of these spells could not be cast from more than a few streets away? And he nods and says, 120 feet, I'd say, ma. She shows you a map from her town, which you might be able to see now, hopefully.
Yeah, it just popped up.
Popped
Yep.
up.
Mhm.
Just
Woo!
popped up.
Okay, so she has circled an area in red pen. Says this is the and says this is our house right here, and I'd say 120 foot. This is the absolute maximum that somebody could have potentially cast these spells from. How about we all investigate?
Alright then.
Would I ask Leotto whether they would need line of sight on the room for these spells to work?
He scratches his head and says, well, these magics are odd. I can't detect good or evil at all, but there doesn't seem to be anything clerical about them. And if someone had somehow adapted a scrying spell of some sort, then not necessarily.
As long as they can see the target, which they would have been able to see through Bianco's eyes.
True. While I'm saying this and talking to everyone, I notice that Tesserin wants Bianca cut from the chair, so I take out a dagger and cut his binds. He kind of just slumps off the chair, kind of clumsily.
That's exactly
Would
what I
anyone like
just
to
wrote.
roll to feel awkward at this point in time?
I shrug and go,
After all Pod had just done himself, I don't think he needs to bother rolling.
What's the dog doing at this point?
The dog is sniffing your foot.
Okay, yay.
Puppy.
If you
I
want, you
make
can
some
all make.
attempt to put Bianco into a reasonably respectable position.
Okay, you manage to lay him out on the floor in a, reasonable manner.
Are his eyes open or closed?
Aw.
Oh, they're very definitely open. They have
No,
a look
I
of.
was gonna close them.
Okay. I let Tesserin close his eyes. Or attempt to. Does she need a roll?
Do we
I'm
need
not
to
going
roll
to-
to see? Like,
No.
it's really awkward as we both reach for the eyes.
Hands touch, both blush.
Oh god.
Okay, what was happening?
Okay, you close Bianco's eyes, and Avina says, myself and Liotto can keep watch here unless you'd like my son's help with your investigations. I feel I should probably reassure my people that we're probably not going to die today.
I think we'll probably need Liotto's help since we have the magic detection ability of a lump of steak.
True. And, yeah, it's...
There's only so many problems I can solve with an Eldritch Blast.
Pod
Is it-
chuckles.
Is it safe to leave Avina here by herself? I mean, I guess she has guards, but
A bandit dying is one thing, killing the mayor is a whole another can of worms.
Also, Bianco clearly had a scrying spell on him, unless Avina is being watched in the same way. I think she's probably safe for now.
Liotto shook his head and said, that was the only one I could tell.
I ask Avina whether she is okay with being left alone.
She smiles a little grimly and says, quite frankly, short of the very worst that can happen, this creature appearing in my own home is the worst nightmare anyone with drow heritage could have. We have worked hard to be accepted in Naldrin, and the prospect of that being undone is nothing short of terrifying. I think I will be quite fine being alone with my thoughts for the time. It's better than having other company of a more unpleasant sort.
I point out that as, obviously I am a half orc, so I have some slight insight into the prejudices some people hold.
Pod nods in agreement.
She nods in acknowledgement.
I look
Right.
to say, why would a priest or priestess of law be here?
I don't know, frankly. Our priests and priestesses are rarely found this far north, and if they are, it's usually in Farah. I mean, if it's an illusion, I do not truly know if it even was a priestess or whether this was
An attempt to implicate the drow.
quite.
That's a good point.
Should I roll for knowledge since my hometown was name dropped?
Yeah, sure. Roll with a +2, seeing as it's your hometown. Do me a history check.
So you'll be a +1. Oh, percent 19.
Oh dear.
Oh, good.
Oh, okay.
Nope, that's good. That's a good one.
And that was without the +2.
Okay, so you are aware at this point in time. You've roamed around Farah a fair bit, and there are temples of basically every god, good, neutral, and some that are a little shady into the evil area as well. Although if they get any what do we call it? Any great power at all, generally the other temples will work to quite swiftly dispatch of them. There is a very small underground temple of Lothon near the island, but they tend to keep to themselves, and they've never caused any trouble at all. So the heads of the other temples quite pointedly ignore them, and generally pretend they're not around to the best of their ability.
Okay, I guess I could say there were temples of that out on Farah, but they didn't never cause any trouble, so don't blame them. Oh.
I think it's safe to assume that there might be an attempt to implicate the drow.
That's what's sounding like. So probably not dealing with pod stops.
I think.
Question. So that man that interrupted us along the way to the guardhouse, who was that? Out of character, it was the beggar.
Oh,
Yeah, sorry, that is the beggar.
he was a beggar we paid for a map, which didn't get us killed.
Yes.
Oh, so
correct
he was the one that sold
information.
us the map.
Mm-hmm. I think sometimes karma does exist.
Well, you might want to hold that thought. Who was that
Mm.
woman with him? Did you recognize her?
No.
Avina kind of scratches her temple and says, I believe she's a nighttime worker. Quite notorious
Yes.
at that.
Yeah, I figured that. But what I found rather odd was how she became so enamored with him so quickly. When he only had a very temporary amount of money, typically if something like that's going to happen, it's to milk someone in the long run.
So you're asking, did he get a lot of money for providing us with that information that he gave us?
Or was she in league with whoever we're dealing with, and is our poor beggar friend doomed?
Avina groans a little and says, well, I'm aware of the establishment where such ladies tend to find employment. If you wish for the address.
Pod size.
Jack casually just nods. He's not bothered by this kind of stuff.
Okay, so Avina gives you the address of the companion house.
I ask if there is a person in charge.
One of the more senior ladies, usually.
Yeah, out of character, I think Lucy's not hearing anything anybody's saying.
Yeah, sorry, I'm trying to type out everything
Mhm.
to that one. Okay, this might be a point where it would be a good idea to maybe take a 5-minute break from this and the recording while we're sorting out the technical issues, maybe? And seeing as you guys are off to either investigate the streets in the area or the brothel.
Brothel, brothel.
I'm not sure if it's going to get fixed so quickly because my internet's been playing up all day, unfortunately.
Well, I have noticed, Char, I can hear you just fine, not having any troubles, but I do keep hearing a popping noise.
The popping is
Well-
coming from Lucy.
Oh.
Oh, that's just because she can't use a headset, so every time the mic gets switched on, it pops on and off.
Ah, okay.
Pop, pop.
Yeah, sorry about that. Well, basically, especially Charlotte and Pod right now, you're both like turning into robotic sounds, and that's about all I can hear.
Okay, well, we'll take a
Must role
quick,
play. Must roll all the d20s.
we'll take a quick break then. Only thing I can suggest, Lucy, is turn off your router if you can. And then
I've
turn
done
it
that
back on
once
again.
already.
Hey, caramba.